One of the most heinous crimes against humanity is sex trafficking, and just recently there were the arrest of several men at a sex trafficking sting in northern Minnesota, and they have been charged with solicitation, including 2 workers at an Enbridge pipeline. They were Enbridge pipeline contractors, so that's the big pipeline that's going between Canada and the United States. Minnesota, of course, being on the border with Canada. Now, the arrest brought calls for renewed fighting sex trafficking along Canada's Line 3 project, which stretches from northern Minnesota on its way to Alberta, Canada, to Superior, Wisconsin. In other words, it's a long pipeline, and the longer the pipeline, the longer it's going to take to build, and the longer it takes to build, the more sex trafficking there inherently is. In a statement to Indian Country Today, Precision, the company involved, had this official statement. The 2 workers were terminated immediately when the company learned they had violated our zero tolerance for illegal behavior. Enbridge has zero tolerance for illegal and exploitative. Such behaviors from anyone associated with this product will not be tolerated and are immediate grounds for dismissal. Now, the sting was carried out on February 17th to the 19th in Scott County by a human trafficking investigators task force led by the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehensions in coordination with the Tribes Against Sex Trafficking Task Force, known as TRUS. Now, the 3 men were arrested during a 3-day sting while they were talking to undercover agents in what they described as sex advertisement websites. In other words, they put it out there publicly that this was a service that they were offering. The men were arrested when they arrived at a meeting place for the sex, according to the officials. Now, 6 of the men charged with solicitation were charged with solicitation of a person believed to be a minor, which makes this all even worse. Another was charged with solicitation to engage in prostitution and with carrying a pistol without a permit, officials said. Now, obviously, sex trafficking is detestable, and so is prostituting women. I object to the term sex work because that's not... Coerced sex is not called sex work. It's called rape. That's what it is. Now, the thing about this is, it has been a long-standing problem that jobs like pipeline construction, forestry, and mining, many of which involve taking, let's face it, male workers out into very desolate areas, has had a long connection with prostitution and sex trafficking, because apparently they can't go 3 months without having sex for some reason. I understand that the job is very rough, but trust me, you can go 3 months without having sex. You won't die. But given that, there is a very long history of a connection between sex trafficking and many of these remote area jobs, which are very highly exploitative of women, and particularly because of the remote nature of the work, it disproportionately targets First Nations people. And by that, I mean First Nations women that are being used for prostitution. So this is not something new. This is something this has been around for, decades. Possibly, I shouldn't even say decades, I should say even longer than that. But in other words, it's a very long-standing problem that this collection of task forces have made arrests of in this case. And this is something that should be national news right now, but it's not, because unfortunately, once again, Donald Trump is dominating a lot of the headlines, along with Joe Biden not living up to his promises, which was perfectly predicted by anybody who rationally looked at the situation. So here's hoping that the mainstream media pays more attention to this sex trafficking so this problem can be dealt with in the future. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.